OMG. I have like one pair of jeans and like 1,000 coats. Isn't this cool? Feels so special. Guys, Lab Report 13 is what we're going to be covering today. Lab Report 13. Welcome to the live. Hey, Carolyn, you're the first one here. Give it up for Carolyn. Welcome, guys. Thank God it's Friday. If I'm being completely honest, I'm multitasking between shifts. I should do like those food reviewers do. They always do that tapping, right? It's a crinkle cut fry. When we are short on time, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta get the calories in between jobs and between YouTube. Hey, Nadine. Oh my God. So I don't want to embarrass you, Nadine, but I just think, Nadine, you are so beautiful. I may be crushing super hard. Is that weird? We should call it crimes and fries. I like that. It rhymes. It rhymes. Nadine? Beautiful. Nadine has the best hair I've ever seen. Phenomenal. Oh my God. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Molly. Hey, Glenn. I got loads to offer. Oh, Glenn. Babe, you're so sweet. Hey, French fry Blake. You want one, Blake? Open wide. Hey, Don. Hey, Hollyberry. So, Deborah says, hey, Deborah. Saturday morning. Oh, my goodness. It's 2:33 here in Chicago. Feels like 0 degrees outside. Hey, Rise. It's cold. And again, I told you, we all knew that as time passed, more things were going to be exposed. You cannot hide the truth forever. Forever. It is not snowing, Rise, but it's 0 degrees. Fahrenheit, babe. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. It's cold out. And what we are about to cover in today's live, hello, Dawn, should terrify everyone. This should terrify you. Okay? We know that they were ready to execute Brian Christopher Kohberger while disregarding all of this blood DNA that we are about to cover. Okay? So I'm going to keep you guys updated. Now, I'm pulling up this Mystery Lab Report 13. There are several mystery perps in the IDAHO4 case that are listed as unknown males B, C, and D. And again, for those of you who are following along on your own and you're checking out the legal documents, let me fix this. I feel like the lighting is a bit much. It's a bit much. It's Lab Report 13, and there is mention of unknown male B, C, and D. Yes, there were so many other samples that were found, that were booked as evidence in the IDAHO4 that we are just now learning about. I'm making you blush, but you're so gorgeous. Don't blush. Own it. She's a hottie for real. I want you to blush. Is that bad? I want Nadine to blush. Everybody go say something nice to Nadine. I want to see her blush. So we have several sources of these unknown males, B, C, and D, several samples that were left at the crime scene, including on the knife sheath, okay? This is a big bombshell. Other DNA on the knife sheath that, guess what, does not match Brian Kohberger. Hey, Jim. Hey, Boo. Welcome. What? And they knew this back in December of 2022, before Brian Kohberger was even arrested. Again, this should be terrifying because why did they arrest him? They have sources of other male DNA on the knife sheath, and they're like, you know what? We're going to ignore all of that. Now we're finally seeing that on this lab report 13. And the document actually goes on and states the major unknown male, male B, DNA profile obtained from the item number 30, the unknown male, male C DNA profile obtained from item 37.1, and the partial unknown male, male D DNA profile obtained from item 40.1 are not eligible for entry into the combined DNA index system, and they are referring to as CODIS, right? For convicted felons. It is unknown to this day why they did not run all of these DNA samples through CODIS, but there were so many DNA samples that were found on the glove that was found at the crime scene. Do you guys understand how big of a boom this is? Because according to this report, item 40.1 is from the mystery glove that was found at the scene that allegedly matches unknown male D. There was also a blood stain on the handrail. Then there's item 37.1, which matches unknown male C. And guess where that was found? Guess where item 37.1 was found? This report says it was submitted swab from South Entry Hallway at, guess where? Guess what apartment? It's apartment 1. Guess in which building? JS's building, Jack Showalter's building, apartment 1. And we don't have anything for unknown male A. Where is unknown male A? Because this was another sample that was found on the sheet that does not belong to Brian Kohberger. It does not match Brian Kohberger. So who are these other unknown perpetrators that Moscow PD, that the FBI, that ISP knew about way before they even arrested Brian Kohberger? These lab results were known on December 17th, 2022. This was weeks before Brian Kohberger was arrested, but they went ahead and they did what? They arrested him and then indicted him with the grand jury in May of 2023. But they already knew that these samples, all of these samples, did not match Brian Kohberger, okay? And according to another document, this is a quote mentioned by the state. The DNA profile obtained from item 24 matches that previously obtained sample, known reference sample of Madison Mogan. And this is, again, the stain that was left allegedly on one of the handrails. And it indicates in this document that this was a mixture of DNA which belonged to unknown male B. Okay? This is unknown male B. This profile that they found, which again does not belong to Brian Kohberger. So it says, assuming a 3-person mixture, 2 additional unknown individuals are potential contributors to the minor profile. Hey, Dougie. Hey, Ass Man. Due to the low-level results and limited data, no conclusion can be made regarding the minor contributors. Then it mentions Ethan Chapin. There's a whole sentence that's redacted. It says, are not the source of major DNA profile from this item. So whose sample was left behind on this handrail with the blood sample? This wasn't just some little touch cells. This just wasn't random touch DNA, which again, friendly reminder, touch DNA is typically it's not used actually in military courts because it's extremely flawed, but also touch DNA is not used in most countries. And actually, it is not used in several courts throughout the United States of America because it's so fishy, right? If you touch something, it doesn't mean you unalive somebody. It means you touch that thing or you shook hands with somebody. That's what that means. This new report is talking about blood DNA. Okay, this was a major sample, and they knew this back in December of 2022, weeks before arresting Brian Koberger. This is why we should all be terrified. And then when they got Brian Koberger's DNA, and they're like, oh shit, it doesn't match. Oops, it doesn't match. So who are unknown male B, C, and D? Who are these mystery perpetrators? Okay, and we have to talk about everything because what do you mean it's unknown? What do you mean it's unknown? Oh, is it unknown because the unknown DNA is of someone important? I mean, that's the only reason that it would remain a mystery, right? Crime and fries. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just very tired and very hungry, very limited on time. By the way, let's talk about the judge, right? The judge, these are my opinions, these are my theories, these are for entertainment purposes only. The judge was complicit too. And I say that because to keep the narrative of a one-man job here that they pushed for the last 3 years, well, the judge was complicit, right? Because he's like, we don't want any other DNA. We don't want any other DNA allowed here. It's going to confuse people. Judge, sir, that makes you complicit, babe. Okay? And for many of us, we're like, well, did his defense team know about all of this? Was that Taylor and co? Were they aware of all these unknown samples? You know? Were they aware? Were they aware? Unknown male B, C, D, not touch DNA but blood. We know that the prosecutors withheld it from discovery. That is why the defense had filed for 24, was it 24 or was it 27 motions to compel discovery? Because Santa Claus, Sir Bill Thompson, they kept hiding shit. We don't have it. It doesn't exist. It was the FBI. We don't know. So I think I agree with you, Holly Berry. I think Ann Taylor and the rest of the lawyers were aware, and that's why they continued to file these 20 plus motions to compel discovery. And that is why she was also demanding the judge to sanction them, right? Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, babe. I feel a little better. My eyes are still a little red, but you know, the judge was reported by some entity for misconduct, right? As he should have been, right? We know that he ruled against introduction of the discovery into the court as proof of alternate perpetrators. Which means what? Which means he is biased as fuck, which means he was hiding the truth, which means he is complicit. I agree with you, Dougie. Yes, he also looks very nervous. both the judge and Santa. The jury would have never heard the entire truth only because Judge Hippler said so. Only because Judge Hippler was like, I don't think we should allow that. Okay. Okay, with this information alone, with this lab report number 13 alone, this alone would mean from the get-go a change of venue at the very least. We have conflict of interest. We have not one, but two biased, complicit judges that have ties to the schools. They have ties to the frats. Undoubtedly, the prosecutor too, right? Undoubtedly, Bill Thompson also has his ties there, right? And what happens in several investigations, not just the IDAHO4, is that because they had a name, because they had the name of Brian Koberger, they instead chose to ignore all of the other evidence pointing to 4 other perpetrators, and they concentrated on him. This is either tunnel vision or tunnel vision with a whole bunch of other BS, right? Okay, this ordeal is insane. And again, this should be terrifying to everybody. Why? Because, yeah, everybody and their mama, some people to this day, are still ready to execute Brian Koberger. They're like, he did it. We knew from the get-go. Within months of the news putting up his mugshot on live TV, everyone lost their minds. Everyone went batshit crazy, and they were like, he did it. He looks like a psychopath. He looks like a serial killer. Look at that intense case. Look at that intense case. Let's execute this man. Yeah, while disregarding all of the other red fluid DNA, right? Right? Hey, pretty sweet pea. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. I hope you get to watch from the very beginning. Yes, everybody, pray for Nadine's dad, right? I see that pretty sweet pea says praying for you. That's amazing, right? And we already had a feeling that there were multiple perpetrators even before we heard of several sources of red fluid DNA, right? How? Well, we had heard that there was a suspect vehicle number 1, meaning that there was probably a suspect vehicle number 2, telling us that there was more evidence. But the question still remains, who pulled the plug on the investigation? Someone pulled the plug on the investigation. Who got that envelope full of cold, hard cash? Who made this case turn into what it has turned into? Okay. Who got the money, honey? Personally, for me, let me know if you agree or disagree, but when Hippler first, very quickly, shut down alternate perpetrators, for me, that was a moment that it all became crystal clear that there was zero chance for a fair trial. The moment I saw him up there rolling his fucking eyeballs when Ann Taylor and the defense are talking, that tells me everything I need to know. Again, body language, very telling. Body language is about 90% of communication. I've seen some sources mention that it's about 90% of communication. So Hippler could be spewing bullshit saying, we're going to do whatever we can, but actually his body says otherwise. Actually, his mouth said otherwise too, but his body language alone tells us a lot, right? Who in the world sits up there, is supposed to be unbiased? He's wearing the cute black robe, right? He's like, I'm a bad bitch, okay? Yes, you're a bad bitch because you're a judge, but your job as a judge is to be as unbiased as possible. Not to go up there and roll your fucking eyeballs every time the defense talks. Okay? That alone, for me, fired. You're fired. You're fired. Right? So I wanted to share that lab report with you guys because a lot of you guys sometimes don't check the legal documents that to this day are being dropped every day, and this is concerning. So if you have seen this lab report 13, let me know your thoughts. And Nadine says, don't forget her nails as well, broken with dry red liquid under them. Exactly. Dougie says, I would also like to know if they asked Dylan why her arms were all bruised up. Doesn't look like it in any of the interviews, right? Doesn't look like it. Dougie says there was no fair play at all in this thing. You cannot trust Moscow Police Department at all. I totally agree, but that's all I had for today's live. Maybe I will come on and do a second one. I have to go through some more documents. We'll see if I have time. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy Friday. Stay safe. Prayers, Nadine, to you and your father. I hope he recovers very quickly. And happy Friday. Have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe, okay? So I'm going to go finish these. Mwah.